Well, hello there. As I stated in some of my previous videos, or my most recent ones, I actually got it on ice for a little while, but I'm back. So I haven't done a video in a little while, and for that I apologize. However, without further ado, I would like to go over a knife with you. Now, this will both serve as my overall opinion and my kind of show off of a special edition. Now, I know from time to time if I get a special edition of something or something that I really like, I'll do kind of a show off, but then I'll also do like a review. Now, I don't tend to do reviews because I don't really hard use my knives, but I do like to do overviews from an analytical standpoint. So, with that being said, this is, can anyone guess? Anyone? Anyone? No? This is a Skyline. No, not a GTR. This is a Kershaw Skyline. Okay. Now, a lot of you know what a Kershaw Skyline is. You know, they're kind of all over the place. I'm sure Kershaw's sold a ton of them. It's a budget-minded knife that's made in the USA, that's got great ergonomics and a great utilitarian shape. Okay. It's a great EDC knife. So, with that being said, I'll go over first off what I like about just the regular Kershaw Skyline. Then I'll go over what this particular one is. Okay, the Skyline. Okay, first off, it's the lightest knife out of any of the ones you see here, which it's kind of dark right now, so you probably can't really see them. Actually, with that being said, let me go turn a light on real quick. Sorry. It was more daylight when I started this than there is now. Okay, so sorry about that. Anyway, so this is a Kershaw Skyline. Okay. Thing I like about the Skyline, first off, again, lighter than any of these here. Very light, very compact. This is just a dandy of a thing to carry. Yes, I used the word dandy just now. Leave me alone. Either way, dandy of a knife to carry. See, I used it again. Because of how thin and how light it is. Now, when I say that, I mean it's surprisingly thin and light. It just disappears. I mean, there can be so much said about a properly executed EDC knife. As an example, I love Spyderco's. Don't get me wrong, I love Spyderco as a company. They have great morals. They make great designs. They branch out in different areas. They work with different designers. They're a great company. Problem is, something like a Manix 2, you know, you've got this round hole here, and that round hole serves several purposes, right? It serves to open the blade, it serves to be kind of a trademark, a signature, whatever you will. Problem is, it makes your knife frickin' thick. I mean, look at this. This is twice the size, the thickness of a Skyline. Twice. Blade? How much blade is there? How much cutting edge? Let's look at it real quick. Huh. Okay. So it's the same blade length. Okay, so you've got the same amount of cutting edge in a knife that is roughly half the width of a Manix 2. I love the Manix 2. This is just a great thing to be able to carry. I like long, thin, flat. It disappears, you never even know you have it. You can stick it in your pocket, you can clip it on your pocket, you can clip it any way you want, and it just disappears. I mean, you don't even realize you're carrying it, yet you still have this great cutting edge. Okay. So that's one of the things I really love about this knife. Okay. Now, this is a G10, and you'll notice there's only one liner. Now, on a knife like this, I think that this is perfect, because one, G10 is strong. Okay, I can squeeze it here, and you really can't see any flex there. So G10 is inherently strong. Two, being this thin, there's not going to be any flex there anyway. I mean, you've got a full-sized, you've got a half back spacer here, okay, that keeps flex down. It's a thin design overall. You're really not going to have any flex in either direction, so you really don't need to worry about liners. However, being a liner lock, it has a liner, and it only has it on the one side that needs it. And that, I think, inherently, again, keeps it thin. Yes, it's thicker on this side than it is on this side, but overall, very thin. So that's one thing about this I like. Another thing, it's a flipper. Now, it's pretty much a flipper only, and it's a manual flipper. I know a lot of Kershaws have an assisted opener. This one's not. It is still fairly smooth. I can flip it pretty much all day long. Works just fine. Now the thumb studs are fairly useless. That kind of hurts. There we go. Got it. You got to kind of dig in a little bit and go straight in and kind of peel it away in order to open it with the thumb studs. The thumb studs aren't intended to be used. I could be wrong, but they aren't really intended to be used. If they did, they'd give you a bigger cutout here. In my opinion, this cutout just serves to keep the profile thin, allow it to close further, and to allow a place for your finger. Okay, I don't think it's meant for that. If it was, I think there'd be a little groove here to allow you access, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Now, first thing I did notice about this, it was a little funny how this swoops in and this swoops over, and I thought that was a little funny, but in reality, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, the majority of the time, that if the knife's closed, it's in your pocket, and when it's open, it's like this. So do you really need it to look good like that? Not really. For what this knife is meant for. You don't. The pocket clip is good. Really good. I actually, Kershaw's had kind of a strange history with pocket clips. This one in particular is a good one. I think it could be a little further up. I think the bend could start probably right here, and you'd cut, you know, a few millimeters off of your ride height, and have the same overall design if they just move that bend probably right to here. That's being really nitpicky though, so completely ignore that. Otherwise, this slips right in your pocket good, catches on your jeans. It is a little low, the angle's a little low, so sometimes it requires a bit of a press. But once it goes in, holds fairly taut, and works really well. This is the same clip they use on, I think, the 0350, the ZT. So overall, really, really good EDC. How are the ergonomics? Really good, outstanding, in fact. It's pretty much straight as an arrow. However, again, this right here, just this alone, is probably worth its weight in gold. Not a whole lot of gold because it would only be this much, but actually that's a pretty good sizable piece of gold. That right there just allows you so much. I could use this just like this. If I just tucked this away and just used it like this, I'd have as much grip as I do on most other knives. Just having that huge chunk of choil right there. Having the G10 come all the way up, prevent me from going this way. Have this G10 come all the way up and this flipper sticking out, prevent me from going that way. I mean, I couldn't wrestle this out of my own hand. So that being said, just having this nice and flat and having this contoured around the fat of your thumb is just perfect. I mean, it's so strange because it's such a simple design. Whoever designed this knife really, I think, did a good job because it's simple and it's elegant and it's useful. Nobody wants to carry around, okay, I was going to say a CRKT ripple, but a lot of people do carry ripples. That's probably a bad example. But something with a bunch of finger grooves and a bunch of stuff and a bunch of, I mean, I've seen a lot of knives that are like that, and I have some that are like that, and I'll go over that too. But for simplicity's sake, you know, and I know a lot of guys around, you know, a lot of people that I live with carry knives, not live with, but in my area carry knives, very rural area. Now they're not going to carry some of the other ones that you see here because they're a little bit too flashy for them. They want something more simple, something that just looks like a knife, and this is perfect. I love the way it is. I wouldn't have them change a thing about it. Maybe some carbon fiber. I'd be happy with some carbon fiber, but you know. So overall, great EDC knife. Okay. The blade shape itself, I think, is great. Another big popular Kershaw is the leak. Now I've had a leak or two, and the leak is a cool knife. Problem is the tip is too thin. It's too thin. The grind is too thin and it's too pointy. It's going to break. I'm sorry. I'm going to break it. Someone's going to break it. I'm going to drop it and it's going to break. I just don't like it. This is much better. This kind of a spear point design. It's thin. Not overly so. But I feel like the girth here, the width, actually helps strengthen that tip. And I really love the way the blade is designed. It's fairly flat. Uses a fairly thin stock. And I can tell that, you know, over time that this is going to be a great cutter. And I've used it a little bit. And I haven't used it a ton because of it's a limited edition. But I really like the way the blade's designed. Okay, so I said the words limited edition, right? Why is it a limited edition? Okay, it's a serial number, of course. Guys, if you're going to do videos, you should invest in a camera. Take this from my advice. Serial number 411. It's an S30V. Serial number, model number 1760 BFC. Okay, this is a Blade Forums special edition. For those of you who don't know, Blade Forums is a forum, a really awesome forum that everyone should be a part of. If you're into knives, you should be into Blade Forums. They did a special edition with Kershaw where they collaborated on a Blue G10 and S30V Stonewash flat grind Skyline. The standard Skyline has a hollow grind, it's bead blasted, and it's in 14C28N steel. Good steel. It's a good steel. 14C28 is a good steel. It's not as good as S30V though. The hollow grind is good. It's not as good as a flat grind in my opinion. This is like an Uber Skyline. If you were going to have any Skyline in the world, this I think would be the one to have, second to the Nissan. So it's a serial numbered S30V, and I think they made 500 of these. Might be more than that. I'm not sure. I think they just ordered as many as they got orders for. But either way, and they're in S30V. S30V, again, if you've been living under a rock in the knife world, S30V is a very good steel. It used to be the premium steel, but now it's more of the, kind of high-line base steel, if that makes any sense. If you're going to make a high-end knife, S30V is the way to start. The CRK Sabenzas, the Chris Reeves, they're made with S30V. It's a good steel. It holds a good edge and is fairly easy to sharpen. And it's probably one of the best, basic steels. And I say, saying basic now is kind of crazy when you think about S30V. I'm sure some of the guys who have been in a long time will go, man, S30V used to be the top of the line, and that's very true. But S30V is a great steel. It's a great overall EDC steel. How about that? Because for a guy who's going to sharpen his own knife, this is probably the easiest it's going to get in terms of high-end steels. Speaking of sharpened, I did personally sharpen this one. Yes, it looks like crap, but you know what? It cuts, and I'm okay with it. I had to actually reprofile it because it was fairly thick. Focus. There you go. Yes, it looks like crap. Yes, it's not a super mirror polish. You can see a little bit of mirroring in there, but it's very sharp, and it will cut you. So I'm okay with it. So I'm really not going to rant too much more about it. I've talked enough about it. I like the Skyline a lot for its thickness and its overall shape. I haven't carried it in a while because I don't want to beat it up because I didn't buy two of them. I just bought the one, and I want to support Blade Forums, so I want to keep this for a long time. A lot of guys didn't get one, but you know what? If you support Blade Forums, they do stuff like this every once in a while. They have a forum knife that's I think a traditional that they do every year. And every once in a while they might get together. You never know. Next time it might be Spyderco who's doing a collab. Now that I'll have, no matter what it is. But you just definitely want to be a part of Blade Forums, support the community, get involved. One thing I wanted to say. Clip's reversible. Don't reverse it. If you put it here, you've got, because like I said, the clip starts like right down here. You've got like this much knife sticking out. So that might be okay with you, but it's fine right there. But anyway, love the Skyline, super smooth, great knife, great EDC, light as all get out, thin as all get out. So go get you one. Thanks for watching, guys. You got a question, feel free to comment, or you can email me. Hey! Or you can email me. Dogs are being loud. Thanks again for watching. You guys have a good day.